What if some of the vegetables you've been eating for decades, foods you've always believed were healthy, are actually causing silent damage to your body? It's a shocking thought, but one that could explain why so many seniors struggle with unexplained joint pain, digestive issues, or worsening health conditions despite eating what they think is a balanced diet. Take my neighbor Frank, a spry 72-year-old who loved his daily raw spinach salads, until his doctor told him those very greens were contributing to his kidney stones. Or my friend Anita, who couldn't understand why her arthritis pain flared up every time she ate eggplant or tomatoes, until a nutritionist explained the connection. The truth is, as we age, our bodies change, and so does the way we process certain foods. Some vegetables that were once perfectly fine for us can now trigger inflammation, interfere with medications, or even worsen chronic conditions. And here's what's really troubling. Most doctors don't warn you about this unless you specifically ask. Think back to when you were younger. Maybe you grew up eating potatoes, corn, and tomatoes without a second thought. But today, those same foods could be causing bloating, joint stiffness, or blood sugar spikes without you even realizing it. That's why it's so important to stay informed. In this video, we're exposing the 10 most surprising vegetables that seniors should be cautious with. Some of them might be in your fridge right now. We'll explain exactly why they can be problematic, how they might be affecting you without you knowing, and most importantly, what you can eat instead to stay healthy without giving up flavor or nutrition. This isn't about fear-mongering, it's about empowerment, because once you know what to look for, you can make simple adjustments that keep you feeling your best. Maybe it's switching from raw to cooked, choosing a different variety, or just being mindful of portion sizes. The goal isn't to deprive you of foods you love, but to help you enjoy them in a way that supports your health for years to come. So if you've ever wondered why certain vegetables suddenly don't agree with you, or if you've noticed new aches and pains after meals, stick around. By the end of this, you'll have a clear list of what to watch out for, and exactly how to tweak your diet so you can keep eating well, staying active, and enjoying life to the fullest. After all, you've earned the right to feel good, and sometimes the smallest changes make the biggest difference. Let's start with one of the most beloved vegetables that might surprise you, the humble potato. Now, before you think I've gone completely off my rocker, hear me out. My bowling buddy Sam used to eat baked potatoes nearly every night, just like his mother used to make back in the 60s. But when his blood sugar started creeping up, his doctor explained how potatoes act almost like pure sugar in senior bodies. Here's what happens. As we age, our metabolism slows down, and starchy foods like potatoes convert to glucose much faster than they did when we were 40. That doesn't mean you can never enjoy potato salad at the family picnic again, but it does mean being smart about portions and preparation. Try cooling cooked potatoes before eating them. It changes the starch structure and slows down that sugar spike. Even better, swap in sweet potatoes or cauliflower mash sometimes. Your blood sugar will thank you. Now let's talk about something that might really shock you, raw kale. Yes, that superfood everyone's been raving about since the 90s. My neighbor, Mrs. Rodriguez, found this out the hard way when her thyroid medication stopped working properly. Her doctor asked if she'd been eating lots of raw kale or Brussels sprouts. Turns out these cruciferous vegetables contain compounds that can interfere with thyroid function, especially when eaten raw in large amounts. If you're on thyroid meds or have a sluggish thyroid, which becomes more common after 60, it's better to lightly cook these greens. A quick steam preserves most nutrients while neutralizing those problematic compounds. Here's another vegetable that might be causing you grief without you realizing it, the bell pepper. My friend Walter loved stuffed peppers until he noticed they gave him terrible indigestion. It's not just the spice. Bell peppers contain compounds that can irritate sensitive digestive systems, especially for those with diverticulosis or IBS, which become more common as we age. The skin is particularly tough to break down. If you've noticed peppers don't sit well anymore, try peeling them first or roasting until very soft. And let's not forget about canned vegetables, especially canned peas and carrots. Many seniors rely on these for convenience, but my bridge partner, Evelyn, was shocked to learn how much sodium is packed into those cans, often enough to spike blood pressure in a single serving. Fresh or frozen versions are much better choices, and if you must use canned, always rinse them thoroughly underwater first. The key takeaway here isn't that these vegetables are bad, it's that our bodies process them differently now than they did decades ago. Small adjustments in how we prepare and portion them can make all the difference between discomfort and enjoyment. Think of it like updating your cookbook. The recipes that worked in your 40s might need some tweaking for your 70s. Now, let's talk about a vegetable that might seem completely harmless, but causes more trouble for seniors than you'd expect: raw onions. My friend Henry, a retired school teacher, loved adding raw onions to his sandwiches and salads until his cardiologist pointed out they were likely contributing to his acid reflux and irregular heartbeat. Here's why this happens. Onions contain highly fermentable fibers that can trigger bloating and gas, plus compounds that may interfere with certain blood pressure medications. But don't worry, you don't have to give up that onion flavor entirely. Cooking onions thoroughly breaks down those problematic compounds while keeping the taste. Try caramelizing them low and slow. It brings out a wonderful sweetness. That's easier on your digestion. Another option is using chives or green onion tops, which tend to be gentler. Speaking of digestive troubles, let's discuss another surprising culprit: raw broccoli. While it's packed with nutrients, my neighbor Mrs. Kim discovered her beloved broccoli snacks were causing painful gas and bloating. As we age, our bodies produce fewer digestive enzymes to break down the complex fibers in raw cruciferous vegetables. The solution? Light steaming. Just 3 to 4 minutes preserves most nutrients while making it much easier to digest. You might also try smaller portions more frequently rather than large servings at once. Here's one that will really surprise you: zucchini. Now, this summer squash is generally great for seniors, but there's an important exception my gardening club friend Barbara learned about the hard way. Older zucchinis that have grown very large develop tough skins and seeds that can irritate sensitive digestive systems. They also contain more cucurbitacins, compounds that can cause stomach upset. Stick to smaller, younger zucchinis with tender skin, and always remove the seeds if your digestion is sensitive. Now, I want to pause here because I know this is a lot of information to take in. If you're finding this helpful, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button below. Why? Because we've got so much more valuable content coming your way that can help you navigate these golden years with more energy and less discomfort. Just last week, we covered 7 breakfast mistakes that drain seniors' energy. And let me tell you, the response from viewers like you has been incredible. When you subscribe, you're not just getting videos, you're joining a community of folks who are taking control of their health one smart choice at a time. Plus, you'll be the first to know when we release our upcoming guide to senior-friendly vegetable substitutions that taste great but are easier on your system. Let's move on to another vegetable that deserves caution: canned mushrooms. Many seniors stock up on these for convenience, but my friend Richard's doctor warned him about the extremely high sodium content, often over 700 millimoles per half-cup serving. That's nearly half the recommended daily limit for many seniors. Fresh or frozen mushrooms are much better options, and if you must use canned, be sure to rinse them thoroughly. Another tip: try roasting mushrooms with a little olive oil instead of sautéing in butter. It brings out their natural umami flavor without the extra saturated fat that can be harder on aging hearts. The pattern here is clear. It's not about eliminating vegetables, but about making smarter choices that work with your changing body. Think of it like adjusting the seat in your car. Small tweaks can make the ride much more comfortable. And remember, these aren't hard and fast rules, but guidelines to help you listen to your body's signals more effectively. Now let's tackle a vegetable that might be hiding in your favorite soups and stews: the common white button mushroom. While generally considered healthy, my friend Lorraine discovered these were contributing to her joint stiffness after her rheumatologist explained how some mushrooms contain natural compounds that can aggravate arthritis in sensitive individuals. This doesn't mean you need to eliminate mushrooms entirely. Simply try switching to shiitake or maitake varieties, which actually contain anti-inflammatory properties that may help joint health. Another tip from Lorraine's nutritionist: always cook mushrooms thoroughly, as this breaks down the hard-to-digest chitin in their cell walls, making them gentler on your system while increasing nutrient absorption. Here's another revelation that surprised many in our community: iceberg lettuce. While it's been a salad staple since the 1950s, my neighbor Mr. Thompson learned from his gastroenterologist that its low fiber and high water content can actually worsen digestive issues for some seniors. The doctor explained that without adequate fiber to scrub the digestive tract, older adults may experience slower transit times. Instead, try romaine or butter lettuce. They provide more nutrients and fiber while still being gentle. Even better, mix in some baby spinach or arugula for added benefits without the toughness of mature greens. Let's address an important concern many of you might be having. What about all the vitamins you'll miss if you cut back on certain vegetables? This is exactly what worried my friend Esther when she first heard about these recommendations. Her nutritionist had brilliant advice: rotate, don't eliminate. For example, if raw spinach is problematic due to oxalates, alternate it with cooked spinach, which reduces oxalates, and other leafy greens like Swiss chard or bok choy. This rotation approach ensures you get a variety of nutrients while minimizing potential drawbacks. Another smart strategy is pairing certain vegetables with foods that enhance absorption, like adding a splash of lemon juice to greens to help your body absorb more iron. For those managing diabetes or prediabetes, pay special attention to root vegetables like parsnips and rutabagas. While nutritious, my golf buddy Carl learned these can spike blood sugar more dramatically than you might expect. His endocrinologist recommended pairing them with healthy fats, like olive oil, or proteins, like grilled chicken, to slow the sugar release. Portion control is key too. Instead of a full cup, try a half-cup serving alongside other non-starchy vegetables. A question I often hear is, what about all the pesticides on vegetables? Should I only buy organic? My friend Alice, a retired nurse, did extensive research on this and found a helpful middle ground. She follows the Environmental Working Group's Clean 15 list: vegetables like onions, sweet corn, and eggplant that tend to have lower pesticide residues even when conventionally grown. This way, she saves money by buying conventional for certain items while splurging on organic for the dirty dozen like spinach and kale. The most important lesson here is that knowledge is power. By understanding how different vegetables interact with your aging body, you can make informed choices rather than fearful ones. Remember, your grandmother probably ate some of these same vegetables, but she likely prepared them differently. Longer cooking times, fermentation, careful pairing with other foods, which made them more digestible. Sometimes going back to basics with traditional food preparation methods can solve modern health concerns. After walking through all these vegetable considerations, here's what becomes crystal clear. Getting older doesn't mean giving up the foods you love, but rather learning to enjoy them in smarter ways that love you back. Think about my friend Arthur, who at 78 thought he'd have to resign himself to bland meals after his doctor put him on a restrictive diet. But then he discovered simple tweaks: roasting tomatoes to reduce acidity, soaking potatoes before cooking to lower starch content, switching from raw to sautéed greens. And suddenly he was enjoying flavorful meals without the unpleasant consequences. That's the kind of food wisdom we all deserve in our golden years. The most powerful lesson from all this? Your body speaks to you through that slight bloating after eating raw onions, the joint stiffness that flares up after eggplant parmesan, or the heartburn that follows a tomato-heavy meal. These aren't just random symptoms of aging to be ignored, but valuable clues about what works best for your unique system. My neighbor, Mrs. Delgado, kept a simple food journal for just 2 weeks and discovered patterns she'd missed for years, like how her arthritis pain diminished when she limited nightshade vegetables. That small awareness allowed her to reduce her pain medication dosage under her doctor's supervision. Now, I want to hear from you. Which of these vegetable revelations surprised you the most? Was it learning about the kidney stone risk from raw spinach, the blood sugar impact of potatoes, or maybe how cooking methods can make such a difference? Drop a comment below, sharing your own experiences. Have you noticed certain vegetables affect you differently now than they did 20 years ago? Your insights could help other viewers navigate these same challenges. If you found this information helpful, do me 2 favors. First, hit that like button. It helps more seniors discover this content. Second, click subscribe if you haven't already. Why? Because next week, we're releasing an incredibly useful follow-up. 10 surprisingly healthy vegetables for seniors you're probably not eating, featuring nutrient-packed options that are especially gentle on aging systems, along with delicious preparation ideas from retired chefs. When you subscribe, you'll also get our free printable guide on vegetable preparation and methods for better senior digestion, a handy kitchen reference you can share with friends or caregivers. Remember, you've spent a lifetime developing wisdom about what matters in life. Now it's time to apply that same wisdom to what's on your plate. Small adjustments can lead to big improvements in how you feel every day. Whether it's switching from raw to cooked, trying new vegetable varieties, or simply being more mindful of portions, each smart choice adds up to more energy, less discomfort, and greater enjoyment of the years ahead. Here's to your health. May your meals be flavorful, your digestion comfortable, and your golden years vibrant. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, where we'll explore those 10 surprisingly senior-friendly vegetables waiting to become new favorites in your kitchen. Until then, eat well and enjoy every bite.